Okay, let's jump into this deep dive. We've got some interesting source material today.
We do. It's all about Google's um, latest AI video generation tools.
Right, specifically Veo, their model, and this newer platform called Flow.
And our mission, really, is to look past the sort of shiny demos.
Yeah, get into the nitty-gritty. What are these tools actually like? How do they perform, based on reviews, trying not to use cherry-picked examples?
Exactly. And what does it all mean for you, the listener, if you're thinking about maybe using this tech?
Because the initial reaction in our source material, it's quite something.
Oh, yeah.
Words like mind-blowing, too expressive, too realistic, even suggesting video and audio could be generated together.
Wow, okay.
The source felt the potential was, and I quote, insane.
Insane. That definitely grabs your attention. It suggests, something big.
But potential isn't practice, is it? We need to understand where that potential really shines and, maybe more importantly, how easy it is to actually use.
Precisely. So should we start with Veo itself, the model?
Let's do that. What's the core thing our source tells us about Veo's capabilities?
Well, the main insight seems to be about Veo, especially the newer V3 they mention. It sets a pretty high bar for integrating video with sound.
Ah, the integration. Video and audio generated together.
That seems to be the key thing, yeah. It's what apparently makes some results feel, well, incredibly real.
Okay, so integrated audio video is the headline. What examples did the source point to that showed this off?
They saw quite a range, actually. There was this uh, convincing ad, kind of funny too, for a fake product, a peppermint pill.
A fake ad. Okay.
Yeah, and it specifically had this bit about attracting puppies, featuring a Shih Tzu. Very specific detail there.
Ah, puppies. Always work. What about people talking?
Dialogue? Yep. They mentioned dialogue scenes, too. Things like characters saying bubble bath or we can talk. Even we can sing talk, apparently.
Sing talk. Interesting.
And voice acting, even with different accents. That adds another layer, doesn't it?
Definitely. It suggests you could maybe prompt short scenes just by describing character interactions.
That feels like the implication, yeah.
Yeah.
A big step for narrative generation.
It wasn't just characters, right? Other visuals.
No, they saw more like cinematic shots, too. Nature scenes, someone saying, I'm one with nature now, or describing the ocean as a force.
So moody, atmospheric stuff.
And then completely different action scenes, thriller type things.
Oh, really? Like what?
Lines like, stay sharp, these are nasty and dangerous, and urgent commands like, where are the bodies? Go, go, go.
Wow, okay, so quite a range, from puppies to action heroes. It sounds like Veo V3, based on what the source saw anyway, handles diverse styles and integrates audio pretty effectively.
That seems to be the takeaway. The source felt some outputs were almost indistinguishable from something shot with real actors.
That's a high bar.
It is. They did qualify it, saying results weren't always perfect, but still impressive nonetheless. Their view is basically nothing else right now quite compares on that expressiveness, that audio-video combo.
So the underlying tech Veo sounds genuinely powerful.
The potential seems huge, yes.
All right, but potential is one thing. How do you actually use it? That brings us to the platform, Flow.
Exactly. Flow. The source describes it as Google's built-in video generation platform.
Yeah.
It's the front door to models like Veo.
Now, I remember reading something in the source about confusion around Google's AI tools.
Ah, yes, that definitely came up. It gets a bit messy for the user.
How so?
Well, the source pointed out the branding. You've got Google Gemini, you've got AI Studio, now you've got Flow.
Right.
All seem to do AI video stuff, with maybe slight differences. The reviewer felt it was a little bit all over the place. Similar tools, different names, kind of confusing.
Okay, so navigating Google's AI offerings might take some figuring out. And accessing Flow itself, any hurdles there?
According to the source, yeah, you need a Google AI subscription, and at least when they reviewed it, it was only available in the U.S.
Right, US only. That's a big limitation for many people.
Definitely. Might need workarounds or just have to wait. But okay, let's get to the actual experience of using Flow, assuming you can access it.
This is where things get practical. And the source, they didn't really hold back here.
Didn't pull any punches.
Not really. The main insight was that the platform, Flow, feels half-baked.
Ouch. Half-baked. What specifically felt unfinished? Several things, apparently. Little usability problems that add up, like how your generations are organized,
How are they organized?
just by date. And you only see the latest thumbnail for any given prompt.
Wait, so if you try the same prompt 5 times to get it right,
You can't easily compare those 5 results. You have to click into each one individually.
that sounds incredibly clunky for a creative tool.
Yeah.
Comparing variations is key, isn't it?
Absolutely. It makes iterating, really difficult.
Yeah.
And speaking of getting it right, how well did it actually follow instructions? Prompt adherence.
The million-dollar question for AI generators. The source tested this specifically.
It's a complex prompt.
Yeah, pretty
Well,
tricky one. A wide-angle shot of a man sitting at a desk in a room, 1950s retro-inspired technology, 1990s desktop monitor. So mixing styles there.
okay. Mixing styles, specific objects,
Yeah.
anything else.
And motion. Camera zooms out while the objects in the room begin to swirl and levitate.
Mm-hmm.
So testing multiple elements at once.
Right. That's a good test.
Mhm.
And the results. What was the insight?
The insight was prompt adherence is still a major hurdle.
Even with Veo.
Seems so, at least via flow. The first attempt was apparently not usable at all, just weird wonkiness.
Okay, common AI issue. What about the second try? The second one looked impressive visually. Like the source said it's the kind of thing you might see in their demo reel. But it still didn't follow the prompt well. They rated the prompt adherence like a 4 or 5 out of 10 max.
So it can look good, but not necessarily do what you asked. That's frustrating.
Very. And the source confirmed, warping, weird artifacts. This stuff can still happen. Maybe less than some other tools, but it's still there.
Okay, so usability issues, point adherence issues. What about the actual settings? Did the source show the interface?
They did. It showed 2 main quality options in Flow. There was fast quality, which apparently uses Veo 2, and then there was highest quality.
And that uses?
That was listed as using Veo 3, the fancy new one we talked about earlier.
So that's where you access the best stuff.
Well, in the reviewer's interface, that highest quality option was grayed out.
Grayed out, meaning?
Meaning you couldn't select it. It required an upgrade.
An upgrade. Okay, this sounds like it's leading into pricing.
Exactly. And this is where the source seemed particularly taken aback.
How much was the upgrade for Veo 3 access?
It started at $125 a month.
Okay, $125 for the first.
For the first 3 months. An introductory offer, sort of.
And after the intro period, please tell me it doesn't jump too much.
It jumps to $250 a month.
$250 a month.
Per month, yeah. The source's reaction was pretty strong, called it freaking mind-blowing and a little bit crazy.
I can see why. $250 a month is serious money, especially for a tool that feels half-baked. Did the source offer a, hot take on this?
They absolutely did. Basically, they felt paying that much, especially $250 a month, for a brand new AI model and platform.
Mm-hmm.
One that's not fully tested in the wild, where you don't know its limits for actual professional work.
Seems risky.
Very risky, in their opinion. You can easily drop that cash and find it still can't reliably deliver what you need for a client project, for example.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it wasn't just the monthly fee, right? There was something about credits.
Yes, the credit system, on top of the subscription, actually generating videos uses credits.
Okay, standard practice for some AI tools. Was it clear how many credits things cost?
Not always obvious up front, the source noted, but they figured out some specifics.
Like what?
Like the fast generations using Veo 2.
Yeah.
Those cost 10 credits each.
10 credits, okay.
But the quality setting, now interestingly, this was also using Veo 2 in their specific test, but it's the setting below the grayed out Veo 3 one.
Right.
That quality setting used 100 credits.
100. So 10 times more credits than fast.
10 times the credits.
Yeah. And was the result 10 times better? What did the source think?
Their reaction was pretty clear. No. The quality result was better, sure, but not 10 times better. It felt like a really disproportionate cost jump in credits.
Okay, so the value proposition on the credits felt off.
Okay.
Did they mention how many credits you actually get?
They showed their account balance at one point. Seemed like maybe they were on a lower tier, maybe the 25-month plan Google sometimes offers for AI stuff. They had 880 credits available.
880 credits. And the quality generations cost 100 each.
Do the math, yeah. You'd run through this in about less than 10 generations.
Wow. So less than 10 high-quality attempts and your credits for the month could be gone.
If you're on that kind of plan, yeah. It makes those higher settings seem extremely expensive in practical terms.
So the whole pricing structure, monthly fee plus a credit system that drains fast on higher settings.
The source basically concluded it felt all over the place.
Yeah.
And just Not worth jumping into yet, given all the unknowns and the cost.
Okay, expensive, clunky interface, credit issues, any other major frustrations?
Yes. One big one, a specific missing feature.
What was missing?
Image to video, or frames to video as they called it. Uploading a picture and having the AI animate it.
Ah, that's a pretty standard feature in other tools, isn't it?
You'd think. It's advertised as something Veo can do. But in Flow, the paid product they were using, listed as dropping soon.
Dropping soon. So unavailable, even if you're paying the $125 or potentially $250 a month.
Apparently so. Imagine paying that fee and a key feature you expected just isn't there yet.
That is, yeah,
That-
not great. Was there any way to do it at all? A workaround?
They found one, but it was really awkward. You couldn't just upload your own image.
No. So what did you have to do?
You had to first generate an image using Flow's image generation tool. And then you could generate a video from that specific image you just made inside Flow.
So you're forced to use their image generator first. That's limiting.
Very. But here's the kicker, the really weird part the source highlighted.
Go on.
Remember Google AI Studio? Their other, more experimental platform.
Yeah.
Well, in AI Studio, the source found you can upload your own image and generate a video from it using Veo 2.
Wait, what? So the feature exists using presumably the same underlying tech,
Right.
but it's available in the free or cheaper experimental area and missing from the premium paid Flow platform.
Exactly. You can see why the source called that extremely frustrating.
Hmm.
Just doesn't make much sense from a user perspective.
No, it really doesn't. Okay, so given all these issues, cost, usability, missing features, did the source talk about alternatives?
They did, yeah. Briefly, just to put Flow in context.
Was it just?
Basically, that this space is moving incredibly fast, and Flow isn't the only game in town. There are other options.
Including free ones?
Yes, specifically mentioning powerful free alternatives.
Yeah.
And crucially, ones you can run locally on your own computer.
Ah, local models? Like stable diffusion-based tools, maybe?
Presumably stuff like that, yeah. And their take was that these local tools can produce amazing results.
And the advantage there is?
Complete control. You're not limited by a web interface, credit systems, or features dropping soon. You control the whole process.
That's a big plus. Did they give any examples of using those?
Just a quick anecdote. They mentioned creating a whole trailer in just like 2 or 3 hours using free local tools.
2 or 3 hours for a trailer. That sounds pretty efficient.
Suggests that once you get the hang of them, those local options can be really productive.
Okay, so let's try and pull all this together. We've gone through the source material on Veo and Flow. What does it all mean for you, the listener?
Well, I think the big picture is the core Veo technology, especially V3, looks genuinely exciting. The source saw demos suggesting really expressive, realistic video with that integrated audio. The potential is there.
And it's a big but.
But the way it's currently delivered through the Flow platform, at least according to this review, it's got some serious drawbacks right now.
Like the platform feeling unfinished, half-baked.
Right. And inconsistent results when it comes to actually following your prompts.
Plus, that really frustrating situation with a key feature, image to video, being missing from the paid product while available elsewhere.
And then there's the cost. That pricing structure, the high monthly fee for the best quality, the confusing credit system. It seems pretty steep, especially given the current limitations.
And it's crucial to remember, as the source pointed out, there are other options. Powerful, free, local alternatives exist.
Which might give you more control, more predictability, and obviously save you a lot of money compared to jumping onto an expensive, potentially unfinished platform.
So it really leaves you with the question to think about, doesn't it?
I think so. In this AI space that's changing so incredibly fast, how much should you invest, maybe even pay a premium for the absolute latest commercial tool, especially if it still has kinks and limitations?
Compared to maybe exploring these free, powerful options that might put more direct control in your hands, even if they require a bit more learning up front.
Exactly. As a trade-off, it's a calculation that everyone interested in this tech needs to make for themselves right now. There's the real value for your specific needs and budget, something to mull over.